Welcome back. I am Deborah Sajan with Linkedpros.com.br, and today we are back to 101 basics for the Brazilian real estate market. And what I want to talk about this time is data and how the big challenge in the Brazilian market is the lack of this data availability, right? So let's just use the residential market as an example. Here in the States, we have the MLS. You can tell, within this square mile area, within a certain town, city, what has sold in the last 6 months, 1 month, a year, right? And you can get that kind of historical data to help you not only determine pricing on things, but really see what kind of volume of sales is happening, right? And in Brazil, there is no such thing, right? And what that does, it does actually many things that are less than ideal. So as a buyer, if you're looking to get a piece of residential real estate, for example, right? You're gonna come across, let's say, there's one property that it is indeed available, right? But the challenge here is going to be what really is the market value for this property, because you cannot pull data that will tell you like properties, comps in that area to support that price. Obviously, if you're doing some kind of financing, banks have obviously a lot more historical data, but even they have limited data, because in Brazil there's lots of transactions that happen under the radar. Sometimes people do only partial registry of really what the amount of the transaction was. So even if there is some data, sometimes it's not really reliable, right? So if you are dealing with the owner, the property owner on the other side, the challenge then is for that property owner to understand what their property is really valued at, because they see when they go into these websites, right? Like pretty much you just can put whatever pricing you think that you might be able to get for these properties. So in my experience, what happened was, as we were identifying properties that we were interested in, and we started the way to try to do some kind of comps, right? We looked in a certain area, okay, what is available right now? And we literally started calling all of those different properties, right? The agents, maybe it's a sign that's on the gate out front, and we started asking about, okay, so you want X for your property, but how long has it been on the market, right? And what we found was, the property owners get this certain impression that their property is worth a lot more money than it really is, and then it just sits there for like 1-2 years, right? Because it's not priced right for what people are willing to pay. But also they have no way of knowing that because there's no data available. So anytime you are in a conversation with a property owner, you also get into this position where you have to educate them, because they do have this inflated impression of what the value of their property is, right? So it's like it's a work on both sides. You as a buyer, you have to dig down to do your own kind of research to get to a certain understanding of what the market value and what you're willing to pay at the end of the day, right? But obviously you don't want to overpay. And then also work with the customer, with the property owner on the other side, to see how much that person is willing to lower the price to make sense for you. So that lack of data is present for everybody in any in any sector of real estate in Brazil. So if you're going into it, again, that's the information. The tip is, go knock on doors and to figure out if you're doing it on your own, right? If the real estate agent that you're working with has the capacity to do that, is willing to do that, right? Understands that, just making a statement of, this is worth a lot of money and it's a good deal, because you will hear that a lot. Hey, this is a great deal, but with nothing to back it up with, right? So that will be the tip from my side. And the solution, Linkedpros. Come talk to us, and we'll find and connect you to the right people to find you the right opportunity and pricing. All right.